Hello, dear sir, my dear friends, and all other viewers. I would like to start our presentation about microcontrollers. These are our group members Pilina, Sarit, Kalum, Yasit, Jayatri, and finally Jalika. First of all, let's have a brief introduction about microcontrollers. Today, we can see most of the devices that measures, stores, controls, and calculates or display information have a microcontroller in their inside. That means microcontrollers act a major part in today's technology. Not only that, also in our desktop computer hardwares containing microcontrollers. Actually, microcontroller likes a small computer. Inside of it, there have RAMs, ports and secondary memory as major parts. All the inputs and outputs are given by ports. These ports such like parallel and serial port of a normal PC. Instead of that, there are analog digital converters, timer modules, serial communication interfaces, and finally parallel communication interfaces as other peripherals. This is a sample circuit diagram about microcontroller. This microcontroller is PIC16F877. This microcontroller unit has configured port as output. Here you can see that port. It contains the range of voltage about 5. This oscillator measures the output voltage level. Actually, the normal way for programming microcontroller is we connect that controller to the computer and program it. After that programming, we can simply connect that microcontroller to the particular circuit. So let's have simple examples about microcontrollers. When we use an electronic circuit, when upgrading and changing, there will be very difficulties in most of the times. But if we use a microcontroller, it is very easier to change or upgrade because simply we can programming it using computer. But electronic circuits are not programmable, therefore we have to otherwise we have to remove it or changing it or remove it. So this will save time and also money as well. Another example in microcontrollers is toy cars. Today most of the toy cars uses microcontroller unit to detect external obstacles and direct to the target. Okay, here we can see about the history of microcontrollers. The first microcontroller was the Intel 8048 released in 1975 with both RAM and ROM on the same chip. That is the specialty of that microcontroller. Some memory types of microcontrollers today using are PROM, EPROM, EEPROM and flash memory. These are some types of microcontrollers we using. So both of the names you can see they are chips. So they have their own name or number to identify it. Like example, there is E7, EZ8, EZ80, Hitachi H8, like so on names. Okay, now we move into the programming side of the microcontrollers. There are several programming languages that can be used in microcontroller programming. In 1975, the beginning of the microcontrollers, there is used assembly language for programming microcontrollers. But nowadays, they have high-level programming languages to program microcontrollers. So high-tech C, CCSC, Micro C, PIC Basic, these are the most higher programming languages that used to program microcontrollers. These most of the languages are types of C language. Okay, now we see what is this MP Lab. Do you know anything about MP Labs? MP Lab means it is a integrated development environment, not a programming language, but such like Visual Studio 2005. It supports several languages to programming microcontrollers. From MP Lab, we can create source code, also assemble, compile and run it, debug it. Also, we can make timing measurements, simulate watch variables in watch window, program firmware into devices. This is the sample MPLAB IDE version 6.30 interface. In this interface, here you can see the timer. We can see the instruction cycle time, process frequency, so on. This is the main program of microcontroller. Here you can see the header file and the main program. This is the infinite loop. Okay, now we can see a sample C code in microcontroller. Here, this header file, you can see a pic.h constructor. This is a basic constructor in C to programming microcontroller. After this, here we can write any particular code for programming.